From my personal experience, I would say morning sickness during pregnancy is like an edible poison that does not kill. And again, morning sickness should actually be called daily sickness. When I was pregnant, I did not know the difference between morning, day, and night with regards to the symptoms I experienced. I was constantly in bed and I was always nauseous. Morning sickness was me, and I was morning sickness. There was no difference. I was nothing close to my normal self. Your girl was humbled by pregnancy. In fact, if there's anything like Association of First-Time Pregnant Mothers Experiencing Morning Sickness, I would be the president unopposed. Don't worry, I will tell you my story. Just make sure you stay to the end of this health talk. Juliana Ome is the name, and now there's a surname, and it is Udo. So I am Dr. Mrs. Juliana Udo. It's so nice to be back. I have missed the sport. I sincerely apologize for the long silence. Different things at different points took me away from the sport. But I'm glad to be here now. For those watching my health talk for the first time, you're welcome to my channel where we discuss health issues concerning mother and child. I hope you stay around and learn a few things. Thank you. We already know the topic we're going to talk about today, that is morning sickness. While I share the knowledge with you, I will also share my experience. It was really an interesting journey for me. Morning sickness is the condition that happens at the early stages of pregnancy. When a woman experiences nausea and vomiting, this usually happens in the first trimester and it can extend into the second trimester. When it is severe, it is called hyperemesis gravidarum. It is called morning sickness because it is thought that the symptoms happen mainly in the morning. But over time, it's been noticed that morning sickness is not restricted to morning times alone, although it can be worse in the mornings. Most books actually call it nausea and vomiting in pregnancy, which is a more appropriate way to describe the condition because it can happen in the evening, it can happen in the night, in the afternoon. In fact, any time of the day, a pregnant woman can experience the symptoms. And about 70 to 85% of pregnant women experience morning sickness in the first 3 months of pregnancy. So it is quite common. Just that the severity differ. Some women have it mild. They wake up in the morning with feelings of nausea, and as the day progresses, they feel better. While some other women, president of first-time mothers experience morning sickness, I'm here. Well, for some of us, it's actually a real illness, and it's just nausea and vomiting with weakness, nothing extra. There's no fever, nothing else, but you're constantly in bed. You're not feeling any better. The day keeps going and it's running faster than you can ever imagine. Before you know it, it's evening. The day is gone already. And another day comes. The same thing. You're not feeling any better. Oh, the exact cause of morning sickness is not known. However, there's a theory that says that the human chorionic gonadotrophin, HCG, is responsible. HCG is a hormone produced during pregnancy by the placenta inside the womb. So it is believed that increased level of this HCG hormone causes the symptoms a woman experiences during morning sickness. While some other schools of thought suggest that nausea and vomiting in pregnancy happens so that as a pregnant woman avoids things that can trigger the symptoms, she's also avoiding things that may be harmful to the developing fetus, that is the baby inside her womb. So it's like saying that nausea and vomiting in pregnancy is a protective mechanism by nature to keep the baby inside the womb safe during pregnancy, such that the pregnant mother does not eat anything harmful. Again, there are no known reasons why one woman will experience morning sickness and another one will not. Although there are things that increase the chances of experiencing morning sickness, and these are called risk factors. Number one is female fetus. This means that pregnant women carrying female babies in their womb are more likely to experience morning sickness than those carrying male babies. Remember, this is only a risk factor. It does not happen in all cases. Number two, multiple pregnancies. The more the number of fetus in the womb, the more the quantity of HCG hormone produced and the more the symptoms produced in the body. then first-time pregnancy. This is believed that a woman's body has not been exposed to this level of HCG. So first-time exposure to this high HCG will cause the symptoms. There's also family history of morning sickness. Morning sickness in the mother, the sisters will increase the chance for a female to experience morning sickness. Then long interpregnancy interval. Maybe someone delivers a baby, then after 7 to 10 years, the person delivers the second one. That can make the body experience morning sickness. And also women with certain conditions like migraine headaches, pre-gestational diabetes, that is, they have diabetes before getting pregnant, or vitamin B6 deficiency, sometimes some kind of psychiatric illness. So they've noticed that such women are exposed to having morning sickness. Again, women that experience morning sickness in their first pregnancy, yes, is a risk factor. If a woman has experienced morning sickness in the first pregnancy, the chances of recurrence are higher. So women, their first pregnancy, they did not experience morning sickness, and in subsequent ones, they land in the hospital. And other women experience morning sickness in first pregnancy. Other ones, they enjoyed their pregnancy. So while these factors are listed, it is possible to have morning sickness even when they are not present. For example, in my case, it was not a multiple pregnancy. I was carrying one fetus, and I had a male fetus in my womb, not female. My mom and sister do not have positive history of morning sickness, so no family history of morning sickness. If you're watching this video because you're experiencing morning sickness, stay tuned. We shall look at certain recommendations known to have helped women with morning sickness. One or two of them may just help you because they also helped me. Meanwhile, there are some conditions that can make morning sickness worse. Number one is malaria and pregnancy. Number two, molar pregnancy. And that is why it is very important to go to the hospital for proper assessment and treatment, so that if any of these conditions are present, they can be taken care of. And again, morning sickness, depending on the severity, can cause dehydration, and which is not safe for you and your baby. So going to the hospital is the first thing you should do once you're pregnant and you feel the symptoms. Okay? Now back to my experience as a first-time mom. As a disclaimer, please do not let my personal experience scare you or make you perceive pregnancy as a difficult journey. Not at all. The essence of sharing my story here is for us to draw necessary lessons from it, and also know that such things can happen to anyone. Whether you're a fashion designer, a teacher, a doctor, a professor, once you're a woman and you're pregnant, you have the criteria. So what sets you apart is the knowledge you have and how best you know how to take care of yourself. And that's why we are here. I also wish that everyone who listens to this health talk is able to build up empathy and true compassion for working class pregnant women who may be having one of these symptoms, and to give them all the necessary support. So when I got pregnant, I had just returned from my leave and resumed work normally, doing my thing. All of a sudden, everything changed. Do you know that everyone around me knew I was pregnant? All the hostel staff knew I was pregnant. It was many in the trees and the animals to ask me how I was coping at that stage of my life. It was so embarrassing. Normally, I like to do my things on a low key, as modest as possible. So for pregnancy, my wish was to go about my normal duties until baby bump appeared. But it was not so for your girl. In fact, I was barely 6 weeks when a colleague of mine, also a doctor, walked up to me to say, "Jules, this way you're slowing down your walking steps. It's like you're pregnant." Oh, I just ignored him, but he was right. Everything about me changed. I had low energy. I was always wanting to be in bed. I was eating every other hour. Yet I had no strength. You would think something was inside my stomach collecting the food I was eating. Then at 8 weeks, I woke up in a different body, totally different body. Usually vomiting is a rare thing for me. Even if I'm not well, I rarely throw up until I became pregnant. From that day, I clocked 8 weeks onwards. I kept manifesting. I had excessive salivation. I was always running off to empty my mouth. Do you know that in a space of 3 weeks, I was already admitted times in the hospital where I was working? The funny part of this drama is that if you looked at me, I looked all right. I was even prettier, but I had zero energy and I was unwell. The only thing that may suggest that I was unwell was this unusual quietness. Even topics I would ordinarily jump at and make my contributions, I'll just be staring at everyone. I had zero interest. All I needed was just a mattress and a pillow with a cool weather. For me to have had a functional system, then I had to be given an injection to stop the vomiting. God bless my colleagues. I had the best of doctors around me. Whenever the vomiting was uncontrollable, they helped me out a lot. Even during the hospital admission, I didn't need to get my relatives or anyone to come stay with me. They were there for me. I didn't give them prior notice, else I would have mentioned a few names here. And I was doing my pediatric posting at that time. My consultant, God bless her for me. She's just a mother. She allowed me to take it one moment at a time, because I remember walking away during ward rounds quietly because of the strong urge to throw up. And to avoid getting myself embarrassed in front of patients, I just walked away without saying a word. And I wasn't queried for that. I couldn't even take my presentations because it required me to talk and attend to questions. For me to have had free flow of saliva in my mouth, I had to be chewing on something and swallowing frequently. And not a gum, because not I don't have to swallow saliva, I have to swallow something, a content. So if I was at work, I was always putting my hand in my pocket and throwing in my mouth. Or else saliva will accumulate in my mouth and whoop, I'm throwing up. Then I got to the stage of abdominal cramps. It was discomforting. It was continuous. Sometimes to wake me up at night. It's when I wake up, I'm feeling so unwell. But here we are. You know how they say it. The end of a thing is better than the beginning. See where we are now. We did it. Yes, we did it. The outcome is so rewarding and satisfying. You know, at the beginning of the video, when I said, being the president, if there existed any group of pregnant mothers such morning sickness, I thought I was exaggerating. This experience continued for me until way into my third trimester. And mine was not morning sickness. It was daily sickness. I went to bed knowing I was pregnant, and I woke up the next morning knowing I was still pregnant. My voice even changed. You can imagine some of my friends that called to check on me that period because they felt that there was some kind of silence from my end. Just knew something was happening in my system by hearing my voice. In fact, one of my friends told me, Jules, congratulations, you're not yours. Something is happening in you. I'm so happy for you. I didn't even want to tell them I was pregnant. From my little experience and some researches I did, I've compiled certain recommendations on how to handle morning sickness, and I hope you find something that may be of help to you. Most times, it can be difficult to tell a pregnant woman how to handle morning sickness because it varies with individuals. But there are some recommendations known to have worked. For easy understanding, I would like to classify them into three parts: what you eat, what you do, what goes on in your mind. What you eat. Number one, follow your instinct. Basically, there are no rules. It is advisable to eat less fatty foods, less spicy meals, because the more spicy the food, the more likely it is to make you throw up. Consider local meals that you're familiar with. Foods with bland tastes, food without any distinct taste, anything from sour taste to tasteless meals have been found to be helpful. Whatever will help you feel alright after eating them, which is not harmful to you and your baby, as much as possible, please eat them. For some people, crackers is helpful. Some local snacks, nuts. Some persons even chew gum to help them maintain free flow of saliva. In my own case, I tried different things. Sour fruits did help me very well. And also local foods, very local ones. So tasteless meals like boiled unripe plantain, boiled new yams. That one that's kind of tasteless. I retained them and I didn't feel like throwing up after eating them because I found out that any food that leaves a sweetened aftertaste in my throat was a trigger. Because when I tried to clear it off or to drink more water, I just empty my stomach. So try that. That might work for you. I also feasted on semi-ripe guava, on popped corn, almonds, in fact, nuts generally, local pears. These are non-sweetened things. So just follow your inner voice. That inner voice, whatever it suggests to you, try a little of it. That may do the magic. Meanwhile, after a few weeks, you might find yourself disliking such things. Don't feel bad, it's like that. But to reduce the frustrations with change in taste at this stage, whatever you wish to eat, buy a little of it first before buying in large quantities. Just keep listening to that inner voice and take it one stage at a time. For this too shall pass. So it was my second trimester. I enjoyed chocolate taste. So this is this common power cubes they call Chocomilo. I drowned myself in it. I used to empty the racks in the supermarket where it was sold. But after a while, I couldn't even stand the taste. And that was it. We're done with that. So just follow your instinct. Take it little by little, you'll be all right. Number two, have an early breakfast. I wish I knew this early. I found this out later. If possible, before you get off the bed in the morning, whatever your mind approves of that day, eat a little of it very early. Do not stay until you get hungry. I repeat, do not wait for hunger to start before you eat if you're pregnant and you have morning sickness. Else, the symptoms may be worse and your whole day may just be ruined. Just keep some snacks by your bedside or have your husband get you an early breakfast. This would really help you. Number three, ginger. Ginger has been known to give relief from symptoms of morning sickness. In my case, ginger was very helpful. I felt relieved each time I drank some. So you can try fresh ginger or the ones sold in small packets. I use the packet ones, not the fresh ones, and they really helped me. Then water. You heard me. Water. Water has a trick. And the trick is the temperature of the water. Make it either cold or hot. It is as if the pregnancy is saying, as water, you must come into my mouth as either hot or cold. But if thou art tepid, I will spew you off my mouth. Yes, that is what it feels like. So try the water hot or cold. You may tolerate it better. Water is very good during pregnancy. Keep yourself hydrated, especially for those having morning sickness. Meanwhile, the temperature of the water you prefer may change with time. In my own case, at early weeks of pregnancy, hot water did the magic for me. Even for brushing my teeth, hot water. When I got to the third trimester, I switched to ice cold water, very cold ones. But if you're taking hot water, please use the temperature you can tolerate to avoid getting yourself burnt, please. So what I did in my case was to empty a pack of ginger into my little water flask with hot water. So I took little sips of that ginger drink so that I get some water in my system because I couldn't just drink water. Okay, try it. 5, locally available foods or foods in season. There's something therapeutic about foods in season. They come in a taste that just suits the weather and the body system. If you're pregnant, whether or not you're experiencing morning sickness, please eat lots of foods in season. For nature to make such foods available, there's something in that food to benefit at that time. So enjoy it, okay? Number 6, quantity of whatever goes into your mouth. Whether it is water or food you enjoy, the best to take is small quantity at a time, but at frequent intervals. If you take large quantities of food, even if something you enjoyed, there's a higher chance of throwing up. So keep it small and frequent. Category B, what you do. The first thing is go to the hospital. You'll be properly cared for in the hospital. Do not assume it is normal to have morning sickness during pregnancy. Because don't know if you're having malaria. Malaria in pregnancy can appear like morning sickness, very bad one really. So go to the hospital. You'll be tested and treated. And remember I talked about dehydration from excessive vomiting. It's not safe for you and your baby. And if the nausea and vomiting is severe and started after 9 weeks, please, you may be suspecting molar pregnancy, but you cannot stay at home and know. So please go to the hospital to be diagnosed and taken care of. Number 2, avoid the triggers. Whatever makes you vomit is a red flag. Avoid it. No matter how much you like that thing, do not do superwoman. It's either remove that thing from you or remove yourself from that thing, or you make adjustment if it's something you cannot do without. The commonest example is body perfumes. You can stop using the perfume no matter how lovely the fragrance is. Stop it at that time. If it's brushing, you cannot do without brushing, so you can just adjust the timing. You can brush at night, in the morning you gargle before you eat, then brush later in the day. That may help you. But if it is the toothpaste and not necessarily the act of brushing that triggers you, change the toothpaste until you find one that will be suitable. You'll be all right, okay? Number 3, talk to someone. Morning sickness can make you feel alone and unhappy. And if you don't handle this stage carefully, you may be depressed. You should have someone you're comfortable with and tell that person as you feel it. It may not even be your spouse, maybe your best friend. Tell the person how you feel, okay? It will make you feel better. The next is cut down on physical stress. The exertion caused by physical stress will further make morning sickness a burden. You can take your leave or renegotiate with your employer for part-time work schedule. If it is something you can delegate someone to do, please do so. If someone offers to help you, please accept help. If you can afford to pay someone to do them, please pay. If stopping work is an option for you, please take that option. No need to be a superwoman during morning sickness. Be kind to yourself and get all the rest you can at that time. In my own case, I stopped work. Yes, I stayed away and it helped me so much, psychologically and other ways. I feel I handled pregnancy and delivery better because I had all the time to adapt to the changes happening in my body as much as possible. Avoid physical stress. Irrespective of what people will say things, negative things. Are you the first to get pregnant? Are you carrying? Is it not just one baby you're carrying? Or is it not? Just remember this. Those are noises. Take care of yourself. You're the one that knows what's going on in your body. Take care of yourself. Once you're done, you can fly. Okay? Next, spend more time in a natural environment than in an enclosed space. Expose yourself to natural air. For example, if the weather permits, turn off the air conditioner, open the windows and have a feel of fresh air. Take a walk if possible. In my own case, I always felt better after taking a walk. But don't take the walk alone. Walk with your spouse or with a friend. Walk with someone and make sure the weather is conducive. I mean, this summer, so I mean, enjoy yourself. Another thing with spending time in a natural environment is that it distracts your mind from what you're feeling. It brightens your mood too and helps you stay happy. Next, spend time occupied with some activities, reading, watching movies, listening to audiobooks or TED Talks or even music, or engage in meditation. Whatever you would do to just let the time pass meaningfully, you should engage in them. Okay? Because morning sickness is something that you feel worse if your mind is on it. So as much as possible, just get your mind engaged. Okay? Finally, ask for help. Know when to ask for help. Let people around you know what they can do to help you. Even if they don't offer to, ask them, please, can you help me? Yes. That time can really be, oh my God. Oh God. Some days. Yes, please ask for help. Just ask for help. It will help you. The last category, what goes on in your mind. This part is very important. The power of the mind. The feeling of unwellness caused by morning sickness can alter your mood and take away your joy. Take away that beautiful experience of your first attempt at being pregnant or even any number of attempts. So as much as possible, work on your mind. Keep a positive mindset. Reading nice books will help you. Or listening to audiobooks or nice movies. In my own case, I read all the books I'd collected and I didn't have time to read. I read Orange books, I was just reading anyhow to distract my mind. If Tomorrow Comes by Sidney Sheldon. A colleague of mine gave it to me. Very nice story. I read it. Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. Another good book. 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. Different books. You can read about childcare and prepare for the period that comes after delivery. As much as possible, spend the time meaningfully to distract your mind, okay? Number 2, do not fall into the trap of comparison. Try as much as possible to take your pregnancy journey one day at a time and make it a personal experience. I repeat, make it a personal experience. Make it special. Cherish every moment. Make it a prayer if possible. There's no need comparing another person's pregnancy experience with yours. You can listen to other people's stories and pick certain lessons from it, but don't say, oh, why is mine not like this person? Why is mine not like that? No. Own your experience and be proud of it. Cherish it. Pray it like a prayer. Wake up and say, oh Lord, thank you. Yesterday I vomited 4 times. Today may I not vomit at all. You may say vomit, but just do something. Be dramatic if that's what it takes, to just keep your mind working on yourself. Okay? You will be all right. Don't compare. Number 3, occupy your mind with words of affirmation. Keep repeating what you need to feel until it becomes your feeling. So persons use yoga, special meditation. Spend more time in prayers in order to achieve this. Sing more songs. Just keep your mind telling yourself that you'll be all right. And you really will be all right, because some days are better than other days. Okay? Because remember, if you occupy your mind with positive thoughts, it will help you overcome the fears and weird imaginations that come at this stage. And the commonest is the fear of miscarriage, fear of malformed babies. Research has shown that pregnant mothers that experience morning sickness are less likely to have miscarriage. Just know that. I had that fear. I was like, oh my God, will my baby go? Will I lose my baby? All these injections, all this. Will my baby be all right? When my baby came out, my baby was looking, oh my God, so beautiful, so plump, so cute. I was down in joy. If you see this baby, I was like, God, this baby was inside of me for 9 months. So don't worry, you'll be all right. Take away this fear. That's fear. There's nothing like that. Baby will come out fine. But go for your antenatal care and take your medications, okay? To every pregnant woman going through morning sickness or any form of pregnancy complications, I empathize with you. I know what you're going through. I've gone through that. I understand what you're going through. I want you to always remember this quote. Whatever has a beginning has an end. 9 months may look too far, but calm down. Before you say, Jack, I'm finished buying baby things, arranging baby room. 9 months will be over and you will come out stronger. Just have the end in mind. Have a mental picture of a lovely baby or babies as the case may be. I wish you well. I pray for you and I love you. If you watched this health talk to this time, I actually appreciate you and I hope you learned something. Remember to like the video and click on subscribe button. Please feel free to drop your questions and your comments. They'll be attended to shortly. I love you all and see you again. Bye.